Welcome back to Joe Stunner Boxing. Pro Box TV had a show on last night, which was Friday, November the 21st. It was another high quality show. If you're not watching Pro Box TV, which is on YouTube free, I don't know why you're not doing that if you're a boxing fan, but you are missing out. Excellent commentary from Chris Algieri and Paulie Malignaggi. The headline fight was Argentina's Francisco Veron against Colombia's Roiman Villa. It was won on a whitewash, actually, by Francisco Veron. A very, very mature, very good performance by the 27-year-old. Won every round, actually knocked down Villa at the end of the 9th round, almost had him out of there. It wasn't one punch that put Villa over, it was just a combination. He leathered Villa from start to finish, battered him from pillar to post. Villa, absolutely no quit in him. No quit whatsoever. Got floored, not by one punch, but by just an endless sort of, the straw that broke the camel's back type of knockdown, the punch was. It was an endless avalanche of punches throughout the fight. Huge salvos, very accurate. Villa's listed at 5'10", which is supposedly the same as Veron. Veron was at least 2 inches taller, at least, and used his range, his dimensions very, very well. He controlled the range totally. Excellent performance by Veron to win every round against a guy who was, although he's seen better days, this was Villa's third defeat in 3 fights, and 2 of those were stoppages. He lost to Jeron Ennis in 10 rounds and Ricardo Rodriguez in 3. So he's probably coming to the end of his career. He did have a win over Alexander Duran. That was a fourth round stoppage. That was earlier this year. So he needed to get this win to keep his own pretensions at world class or a world title tilt alive. But he didn't win a round. And guts by the bucket, Roiman Villa. Absolutely terrific, never surrender attitude. But Veron looked impressive. Very, very impressive. 27 years of age. Like I say, Argentinian. 16 wins with 10 KOs. He's got 1 defeat on his record, which was to Brandon Adams, a 10-rounder. That was last year, maybe 14, 15 months ago. Looking very, very good. Learning defeat, as they say, to Brandon Adams. Brandon Adams is a good fighter, doing very, very well. And I think he's got a draw on his record to Jahai Tucker is the kid's name. Not a bad little fighter himself. But since that Adams fight, he's had 2 fights. The Roiman Villa fight was the second one that he's had, and he's looking improved, technically improved. He's coming into his prime, you would say, his peak, and I think he certainly deserves to be in the mix for world title shots. Definitely. Orthodox fighter, control the range beautifully. Beautiful jab, was varying it, head, chest, solar plexus. There's this new phrase that a lot of the commentators use, the stab jab. I like that because he stabbed into the solar plexus, stab into the stomach, varying it. And to be honest with you, from the word go, Villa looked like, ooh, this is going to be a long night. Villa looked shorter. I can't believe they're the same. They're both listed. I looked at BoxRec before I did the video, and they were both 5'10". No way. I think Veron's taller by at least 2 inches, 3 inches. And he fought like it as well. And interestingly, Veron, 10 KO wins in 16 victories, but seems to have a little bit more power than is suggested, although perhaps it's accumulative power, perhaps. But I like the fact that a lot of his hard punches were long punches. There is such thing as long power. Tommy Hearns clearly had it. Wilder had it with the right hand. He could knock you out with a long punch. Very hard hitter with the right hand, of course. Veron isn't a knockout artist, but he does clip you and sting you and break you down at long range quite beautifully. I can't get over how good a performance this was. If you look at the Brandon Adams fight, again, a learning fight. He fought well. It was competitive. I thought Adams won it, but it was a competitive fight. But this was a very, very different Veron in the ring. And world title tilts. Xander Zayas is out there. We're talking 154 pounders, by the way. I should have pointed that out earlier, but As for Villa, like I say, three defeats in 4. But when you consider he's got a win over Rashidi Ellis, that was a very good win back in 2023. That was, I think, before he fought Ennis, and he got stopped by Ennis. He is probably in that gatekeeper role, that world level gatekeeper role, as was illustrated against Veron. But Veron has something more. Veron is in the ascendancy quite clearly. And I like the variety of punches. I like his footwork's good. He's like I say, uses his dimensions well. He's upright without having a porous defence. There were occasions when Villa thought, I'm going to throw hell for leather here, balls to the wall stuff, and just started swinging big punches over, but they weren't connecting. And he just had his head boxed off, to be honest with you. Sometimes that happens. So it will be interesting to see Veron in against maybe Zayas. But the 154-pound division, like I've said so many times before, it's a very, very good division. Very good division. And he's going to have to go some. He's going to have to, I think, get better and better to beat any of the champs, never mind the contenders. But make no mistake about it, Francisco Veron, on the evidence of this, the way he handled Roiman Villa, who's a heavy-handed guy, 24 knockouts in 26 wins or something like that, or 25 and 27 maybe, something. He potentially is a tough night's work for anyone, but he was completely diffused and controlled by Veron. Very, very impressive performance. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you saw it, go and have a, let me know what you think. Go and have a look at the Pro Box TV show, another very good one. They have them every month, I think. And let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and hit the like button. And I will catch you later. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Bye for now.